No, don't do it. I beg of you, please stop while you can. No, too much pink energy is...
Welcome back, Lightning Collection fans. Thank you for coming back to the channel, as today we're taking a look at this lovely figure. Now I got this in hand thanks to my good friend, Traveling Power Rangers fan. You will find him down below or in my recommended channels on my main channel page. Because that's the bad thing about living in Europe, those Hasbro Pulse exclusives. And we got another one incoming with Psycho Green, which I also have thanks to him. So I am very grateful that today I can finally show off this incredible figure. And we'll also, of course, take a comparison, because English is difficult. You know the deal, English. But yeah, we'll take a comparison with Kimberly, of course. See how things add up or what's different and all that. So without further ado, let's get into it. Of course, let's just start off with a quick look at the packaging. Now, as you can see, I think the packaging is pretty much the same as Kimberly's, but they glittered it. It's not in the cardboard, it's actually like on top of it. You can feel it, it's like a structure. So any bad luck, it might flake off a bit and you'll have the eternal suffering of glitter in your home. But that's a small price to pay for this excellent figure. You just look at her. Oh my god, yes. Then we got, of course, the typical beautiful box art at the side there. Mighty Morphin Metallic Pink Ranger. Glitter at the top, text at the bottom, and of course a very nice product shot at the back. Now there's no glitter here, that's actually printed on the image there, which you can see a little bit. It's actually funny that the promo image is different actually, because the boots and the gloves and everything is white. Well, it seems that they are silverish here. I'm not sure what I actually like better, but either way it's an excellent figure. Butterfingers. Anyway, let's get her out of the box, shall we? And here we have Mighty Morphin Pink as she comes out of the box, and she looks absolutely wonderful. At first glance, you can already tell that this is a far improvement over the very last Catherine figure we ever got, which was the flip head, which was, I believe, just, I think there was even only the Zeo Pink. The ones with the Mighty Morphin Pink were all customs, I think. So this is technically, I guess, the very first official Mighty Morphin Catherine figure we've ever gotten. That is very interesting. It only took like 30 years, but finally. Anyway, as for accessories, of course, as you can see, she comes with her beautiful noggin straight out of the box. So that must mean there is also a helmet involved. And yes, audience, there is indeed a helmet involved, and same as the figure herself, on which you will take a closer look in a moment. The helmet has a nice translucent pink there with the glitter, which I think is a very, very beautiful effect actually. The entire piece is just the clear plastic. The helmet parts are all painted. You got even the little green eyes there, as it should be. It's a little bit messy here, but not too much of an issue. It actually picks up more on camera than you can actually see with your eye, unless you hold it like this. But that is just very minor nitpicking. That is a beautiful helmet though. We'll compare stuff with Kimberly in a moment as well. Of course, she's got her power bow. Also not white, but in a very slight. It's not gray, it's not silver, it's a bit in betweenish. It's very nice. It's very subtle. I think this is also a very like 90% opacity, like it's clear plastic, but very muddy clear plastic. The opacity is not that low, but a little bit lowered. If you know what I mean. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense, but it's very, very, very slightly see-through plastic. Let's just say that. Let's just say that. And of course, she comes with her blaster, which is the same as always. Not too much paint on this, but I don't think the regular versions have that much paint either. I really need to update these a little bit, you know. I think the one difference is that these are silver, I'm guessing, instead of white. But we'll take a comparison with the Kimberly release in a moment for that. She, of course, also comes with the arrow, which I think is exactly the same. And this, as the blaster, are not see-through. They're just regular old plastic. And of course, besides the regular arrow, we also get the effects arrow. This time a very nice, like going from pink to clear. I really love this version of this. This looks very nice. I think this is my favorite so far, because Psycho Pink came with something similar to this, or exactly the same as Kimberly, if I remember well, just a slightly different shade of pink. But just the color effect on this, like the gradient going from pink to clear, that is beautiful. And of course, besides her regular hands that she's got, she comes with a karate chop hand for the right, and for the left she comes with a closed fist. Now, as you can see, these are not white, they are a silverish color. There's the regular hands that she has got, are mostly for the bow, you know, holding the bow and straddling the arrow. And last but not least, we get her Zeo crystal. Now, I actually, thankfully today, before I did this, because this is of course mentioned absolutely nowhere, is that apparently these are glow in the dark. Now, I don't know if I can show that on camera. I will try in a moment. But if these are actually glow in the dark, that's actually pretty funny. I hope that when we get Mighty Morphin White, we get like the little rock, so they will all, you know, sit together. That would be very cool if we would be able to get that. But yeah, it's nothing really special, just the shape of the visor from Zeo Pink, Zeo Crystal number 1, I guess you would call this. But yeah, without further ado, let's see if we can actually get this to glow in the dark. Hello, darkness, my old friend. And yeah, I'm sorry about the quality here, because obviously this camera is not meant for filming in low light, but I guess the rumors are true. It does glow in the dark. Anyway, as for a close-up of Catherine here, we have her head sculpt, and it's fairly good. It's fairly good. It's not one of the best. Side profile is a lot more beautiful, I think. The hair looks great though. The face looks like she's a bit like when you're forced to smile, like it's just the expression that's a bit weird, I think. Sure, I'd love to see your Zord. What? Okay. Yeah, bye, loser. Anyway, as for the rest of her, we got. I really like not just the hue of the hue of the pink, but just because it's a very beautiful pink color. But I love how it's like slightly see-through, just enough to like get you a glimpse of the glitter. I think this actually does make the figure a lot more unique than, say, if it was just like a regular pink with like sparkles on it, or just a metallic-ish color like they did for the Legacy version, which was metallic, but it was more metallic paint and not so much like shiny like the suits on the show. Now, while this is not as glittery as the show suits looked, because that actually looked like spandex, you know, covered in glitter. The effect is a little bit more subtle on the figure, but it is very, very beautiful nonetheless. Now, just like with all the details, like this is silver, the belt is silver. Of course, the gauntlets and everything, it's all silver. The morpher is actually properly painted. Even the tiny... They're better on this side than this side, but still, I commend them for trying. I didn't actually expect they would. Just the camera. It picks up a bit better there in the corner. That is very nicely done, though. Actually, I'll have to check on in a moment if they actually did that for the other Mighty Morphin Rangers. So I thought it was just like silver and just the red and the gold, except for Zack. But well. As for articulation, the head, of course, can do a full 360. She can not look up at all because of her hair. And she can very hardly look down. Let's just see how that works out with the helmet, though, because I suspect most people will be posing up with the helmet anyway. That looks beautiful though with the helmet. Oh my god, I really love how the helmet looks with the clear and the glitter. That is beautiful. Come on, camera, focus properly, please. Thank you. That is beautiful. But she can look up that far. She can look down that far. Of course, with the helmet, even more so. A 360 is very easily achieved. Her arm goes up about that far. Unless, of course, you turn it around. You got the full range. She does not have an upper leg swivel, but she does at the elbow. Just a single elbow joint though, so that is as far as it will go. And we get the little swivel ratchet at the wrist. And of course the hand can turn all the way around. Then of course we get a ball jointy effect here, wiggly waggly, and letting her do a full terrifying spin. We of course got the ab crunch, so she can dodge Mr. Smith's bullets about that far, and she can look down about that far. Now the skirt is still a rubbery material, letting her do a spread of about this far before the, as you can see, where the split is, allows her leg to move just a little bit more, so it does get a little bit constrained there. But that's only very, very minor. Should not really get in the way of most poses. And of course, she turns at the upper leg. She has a double knee joint. And she does have an extra ratchet there, but her boot hits the back of her leg there. So we can't get that last ratchet when the upper one is completely turned. But yeah, they're about that much. And of course her leg can turn at the boot. And she's got a foot swivel there, which goes, her toe goes up about that far and down about like that. Eat your heart out, Kimberly. There's 2 ballerinas now. Anyway, let's just take a quick comparison then with the original Mighty Morphin Pink release, Kimberly. Now, before we get to the figure, let's just take a look at the blasters. And actually, this one's from the metallic one, this one's from the regular. They are both silver. This should be white. Why did they use silver paint for this? Ah, well, I guess they had to use up their silver paint. Another weird thing, but nothing we cannot fix. Now for the bow, it is actually slightly different, as you can see. The original one for Kimberly is a white plastic, and this is the very barely see-through silver plastic. I'm pretty sure when I look at the bottom, it has like a see-through. You can hardly. I don't think you can make it out on the camera at all. Ah well. As for the arrow effect, this one's also very, like, how do you say, a pale pink, and this one's nice and bright. And of course this one is the same color throughout, and this one gets over to the neck. I love this piece so much. It actually brings the effect part just a little bit more to life, I feel, to not have it just be one overall color all around. Now here we have the helmet, and as you can see, the helmet mold itself is exactly the same. Because we've seen apparently there's a few differences with like, I believe the black and especially the red one for the metallic versus the first release. And here we have them together. Now, as you can see straight away, the type of pink is very, very different. Oh, still got the foot swiveled down. They, of course, share the exact same body type, so they are equally tall. There's no difference there. It's the exact same body type. Except that, you know, things that are white are very subtly they are very subtly, they are almost well, they are silver, but they are a very low-key silver. There, that's it. That's something I can pronounce. Ha ha! I beat you at your own games, language. Anyway. Yeah. There we have them. Catherine and Kimmy Gibbler. What? Kimberly what? This is Kimberly Hart. I thought it. Oh, okay. I'll believe you. All right, Kimberly Hart, people. You heard it here first. This is not Kimmy Gibbler from Full House. I am so mistaken, apparently. All kidding aside, though, it's not the worst head sculpt. Like, you know, you can recognize Kimberly like this, or but it just looks the same with Catherine. It's close, but something feels. I think it's just something with the paint. It has something to do with the paint. I can recognize them in there. But I think it just has to do with like shading in the face. Ah, well. You know, these are not figure arts. If this would have happened with figure arts for like $60 a figure, I would have been like, that's not worth the money. But these are like, what, $23? $23, people. $23. So I can forgive it. I'm just I would have bought them even without the head sculpts, and I'm just very grateful that we're getting fairly decent head sculpts. And look, like this, she looks pretty decent like this. Just from some angles, I just think it's the shading here and there, which just makes, yeah. They're supposed to be human faces, of course, and the human eye. If something is just off, even the slightest, our brain already tells us, like, something's off. But I think these figures, for what they are, the head sculpts are fantastic in general. Actually, I have the same. They just came with the same hands, I believe, as well. Yeah. And there we have her for one final shot here. Catherine as the Pink Ranger posed up with her bow. And I love that effects piece. I really do. Now, is this figure worth purchasing if you've already got Miss Kimberly over here? Personally, I would say so. I would just want her, if only for the sake of, like, you know, getting the team complete. I mean, just for like shots of, like, you know, when they transfer the power or whatever, you know, to pose them up. I like changing how my characters are posed up in their cabinets, you know, just change them around every now and then. Like right now I've got like I'll show that in a moment, the group just well, I'm working on the command center at the moment, but I have them all together, like, as a power transfer from the dragon stuff to Jason. I have them set up like that. I might set up like the power transfer if I get like a Rocky, Aisha, and Adam. And we are actually getting Aisha with Scorpina now, so I am incredibly happy with that. But yeah, is this character worth it? If you just want the regular Mighty Morphin Rangers and you are fine with that, like, you know, you just want 18, you don't care for the head sculpts and everything, then I would just say go find the regular version, because this will look nicer with the other characters, you know, in general, because having one sparkly ranger in between them would look very off, I would say. But personally, as kind of a completionist for this line, and, well, just for the sake of, like, I want a Catherine Mighty Morph, I would get another one of these with just the Catherine head again. Because, yeah, there were 2 Mighty Morphin Pinks. I will want 2 Mighty Morphin Pinks, and only Catherine ever was a metallic one, so I will want 1 metallic one. I just want every form and shape of every ranger so I can put them all together, you know, for whatever kind of posing I would like to do for the display. So yeah, the character by itself is absolutely worth it, and if you already have this one, you will know what quality to expect. It's pretty much exactly the same. And yeah, that's basically it, except for one little thing, because people might be wondering, like, there's no clip on the bow, so how do you get her to hold the arrow like this? Well, as you can see, for her fingers there, if we will focus on the correct part, you can see there's a notch in there, right? Now, most people will guess this, like the tip of the effect part goes in between those fingers, and then it hangs there. But as you can see, there's also a notch there. Now, this notch goes perfectly in between the fingers here. So while this one sticks in between those fingers, you get this piece to stick in between those fingers, and ta-da! She is holding her arrow, and it's a very good grip. Alright, if you shake it enough, it will let go, but in general, if you just put her down on display, it's not gonna fall. Unless you knock the figure around. Like, it's not the firmest grip, but you know what I mean. Like, if you knock the figure over, it'll fall down. But that might actually be for the best, because what if this was a really firm grip and your character fell off the shelf, and then instead of being able to pop loose, it would be fairly stuck in there, too much resistance, and snap. As usually happens when stuff falls down. Stuff breaks because physics. Anyway, what are we even talking about here? I don't know. It's Friday. I'm looking forward to the weekend. Fun, 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 fun. And hopefully I'll see you next time. Goodbye, audience. And if you would care to help me out, leave a like. Comment down below. Are you going to pick her up, audience? Do you already have her? Are you in Europe? And don't you have a fantastic American person to help you out with stuff like this? Do you absolutely hate Hasbro for making this sort of thing a Hasbro Pulse exclusive, and then only bringing Pulse currently to the UK, and the UK not shipping to anywhere in Europe? Oh, Hasbro, you hate Europe, don't you? Yeah, you really do. Anyway, all of that, and if you would like to see more, please consider subscribing. I don't usually do this many figures, but I basically got all of my figure pre-orders in at the same time, so I'm just doing a lot of figure reviews at the moment, but there's a lot more content coming, and you can see a few examples of what to expect from this channel from the previous videos. So if you would care to take a look, I would thank you very much, and hopefully I will see you next time. Goodbye, audience. Whoop.